World title fights. It was a great 5-round fight. Might have been the fight of the year as far as Triumphant Ring is concerned. And he is back. He looks a lot trimmer than he did when they took that fight short notice at about 200 pounds. He is a lot trimmer. He says he's in the best shape of his life, and he plans on showing you a Stephen Bobbinchuk that you have never seen here before.
Oh, absolutely. What do they call him? What is his nickname?
They call him the Battletoad, and as you see on his left arm, he has recently had a tattoo edition of that Battletoad.
IFMA Olympic style action in the 178-pound division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the triumphant blue corner. His amateur Muay Thai record, 19 wins, 14 losses, and 6 wins, coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 10 and weighed in at 177.6 pounds. Out of Florida Kickboxing Academy, from West Palm Beach, Florida, Stephen the Battletoad Bobbinchuk.
And he is a battler, that is for sure.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the triumphant red corner. His amateur boxing record, 4 wins and 3 losses. As an amateur Thai boxer, 11 wins and 7 losses, 1 win coming by way of the knockout. Standing 6 feet 3, weighing in at 176.6 pounds, representing Easton Training Center in Boulder, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, Wes the Arrow Argrove. And your referee in charge of this bout, Danton Bam Bam Stell.
Wes Argrove fighting out of the Easton Training Center, a record of 11-7, 19-14 with Stephen Bobbinchuk. 2 years separate them in age and 4 inches in height, going to the advantage of Wes Argrove.
Looks like both fighters are going to choose to seal off the ring here, David. Now, both of these fighters have fought in international competition, so they're familiar with this. In fact, they were on the same U.S. team before. They used to spar together, getting ready for international competition. Bobbinchuk has fought Argrove one time, lost a decision a couple of years ago, but he thinks the fight tonight is going to go much differently than it did when they fought the first time, David.
And I think what's important to pay attention to the records of these fighters. Now, taking out the win and loss, 33 fights for Stephen Bobbinchuk. That is a lot of fights. That's a lot of experience. Wes Argrove, 18 fights, 7 boxing fights. These guys have a lot of ring experience. And you can see right now, as they're sealing off the ring, they are very, very comfortable.
Yeah, I expect to see high-level Muay Thai from both of these boys here tonight. You see the composure, not a lot of nerves going on right now. Both look like they're getting in their zone. Looks like Bobbinchuk is going to go through with the full procedure with the Y crew here. Both of them are actually. David, can you maybe explain to the viewers at home what exactly is going on here with these fighters?
Well, Y crew literally means paying respects to your teachers. Now, fighters seal off the ring to prevent bad luck from coming in, but also sealing, keeping good luck. And so they pay respects to their teachers. They could be, you know, the king of Thailand, or their god, or their parents, or their crew, their teacher. And they do that to pay respects. Also, it allows them to warm up for the fights. Fighters normally go north, south, east, and west when they do this Y crew, and you can identify the different fighters by the type of Y crew that they perform. You can know which camp they come from. And so they have that ceremonial mongkong, that's the headband that's worn on top of the head. And that's usually blessed by monks. And again, it's offering good luck. Right now we see Wes Argrove taking his mongkong off by Sean Madden out of the Easton Training Center. And he had the Palm Malai taken off of him as they're getting ready for this prestigious USMF fight.
Now you notice they're going to don T-shirts here as they do an international competition. Again, this is kind of building towards Muay Thai in the Olympics eventually, and we are really building our national Muay Thai program to get on a competition level with the international. All right, we touch gloves. It's Triumphant 6i. Brandon Kyle next to David Huey. We are calling the action in this USMF qualifier match between Stephen Bobbinchuk and Wes Argrove. Both boys displaying nice versatility of strikes, punches, kicks. Bobbinchuk driving Argrove to the ropes, but good job of Argrove turning back, getting his back to the center of the ring so he has room to move. Ooh, a nice right hand lands, maybe 2 of them for Bobbinchuk, but a nice hook from the southpaw, outside leg kick. He switches back, Argrove. I noticed in one of Argrove's previous fights, he does allow himself to get pushed back a little bit. He He kind of relies on the clinching knees when he gets pushed back to the ropes, but I know Bob&Chuck plans on smothering him and making that ineffective here tonight. Also, Bob&Chuck plans on using angles. I talked to his coach, Asa Tenpao, at the Florida Kickboxing Academy. They think his footwork and angles are going to surprise Wes tonight.
You see him when he punches in, he gets that little shuffle, he's able to close the distance. Wes Argo is trying to keep that distance away.
Nice counters from Argo early in the fight, David.
Very good. I mean, both of these fighters using what they do best, most effectively.
Nice overhands coming. We've seen this from Bob&Chuck before. This is kind of how the Herney fight went. Once it started going, he started throwing.
Oh, man.
Nice kick, but a nice knee come back. Oh, and another nice knee. Now, it looks like Argo is effectively able to use those knees as he's backing up, but Bob&Chuck, again, like we've seen him before, the battle toad coming forward, driving his opponent to the ropes. It's really hands versus knees so far in this first round of this USMF qualifier match. Another nice switch knee there. Kind of a step knee. You can't tell if Argo's southpaw or orthodox. He just switches somewhat effortlessly there.
Well, this first round comes to close, and it's definitely a high output round here. Stephen Bob&Chuck really trying to rally in, getting a shuffle step with those punches, trying to close that distance. Wes Argo using his long range effectively.
To the competition every year. There are over 100 countries represented at the competition. These two fighters are vying for a position on the U.S. team.
Here we go for round number 2. Our referee, Dan Bam Bam Styles, resets the action. It is Stephen Bob&Chuck versus Wes Argo.
We are Triumphant 6, Brandon Kyle with David Huey, and it has been a great fight so far, back and forth, with Bob&Chuck trying to pressure Argo, and Argo's using effective countering knees and kicks to keep Bob&Chuck at distance. But Bob&Chuck, as we've seen before, oh, kind of an awkward fall down here. Bob&Chuck gets up, determined as ever. Argo's got a nice bounce in his step. He's moving lightly. You can tell he's ready for that forward pressure here. And it looks like Bob&Chuck is changing his approach and maybe riding the outside, maybe trying to draw Argo in now.
Looks like he's playing the outside of the ring, circling around.
And you know, it would appear that that training with Asa Tenpao and his recent success in Glory Kickboxing, I know they plan on doing a lot of more kickboxing movement types for this to try to get in and out on the taller fighter.
Well, definitely we see a lighter Stephen Bob&Chuck here, and his footwork definitely demonstrates that. Oh,
nice flying knee there from Argo, but takes a right hand as he pushes Bob&Chuck back.
Bob&Chuck uses that knee guard, trying to shut down the knees from Wes Argo, and he rallies in with that shuffle step.
Ooh, and a nice knee to finish, right? Drives him back to the ropes, finishes with the knee. He's mixing hands and lower half now is Bob&Chuck.
And now Wes Argo using those long punches and that long piercing knee.
Oh, little accidental spinning elbow from Argo, kind of naturally threw it out there. No elbows allowed in this, as we're amateurs as well. No elbows in Nevada for amateurs. Ooh, a nice jab, left knee to the body of Bob&Chuck there from Argo. The arrow is precise in his attacks tonight. 10 seconds left in the second round, David.
Well, you can see why they call him the arrow. When he throws those punches, they're long and they're straight, and they find their mark. But then you can see why they call him the battle toad. He is a battle toad, then.
Yeah, he could take about 10 arrows and still keep charging there, David.
Well, I like that shuffle step that he does, you know, rallying 1, 2, throwing 4 punches, moving forward to close that distance. Stephen Bob&Chuck doing very, very well in that round. Wes Argo, too, coming back and rallying back very strong. It's a very, very tough match to score. I mean, both of them rallying back and forth, doing what they do best. The step punches from Stephen Bobenchuk and Wes Argo using those long, long moves.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to judge a round when one fighter does what they want and the other is unable to. But when both fighters do what they want, David, it makes for great rounds like we're seeing here so far in this Bobenchuk-Argo fight. But it also makes the rounds really hard to score. I would want to be a judge here tonight.
Well, this is round number 3.
The final round.
As Jim Burns says, the third and final round. Fighters hug each other, pay their respects. This is round number 3.
Again, these guys know each other very well. They've trained together. They've sparred together. They've been teammates. They are friends. But they know that the friendship gets put aside here because they want to represent their country. Oh, a huge knee. It's Bobenchuk. And what does he do, David? Smiles up at the ref and tries to run. But you know what? That is going to be the end of the fight. He tried to fake it till he makes it, but he was unable to handle that devastating knee from Westy Arrow Argo.
I think Stephen Bobenchuk got up a little bit too soon. He should have waited down a little bit. He has a mandatory 8 count. He has to get up by 10. Should have stayed down a little bit longer to get his balance, because when he stood up, he stumbled, and that was a sign for the referee to say, hey, you know.
And that's something you're going to learn too, that professional you see sometimes in professional athletes that have had quite a few fights under their belt. They will take that 8 count. Maybe they don't need it, David, necessarily, and they could get right back up, but they take that 8 count and it gives them a chance to make sure they clear their head. It looked like Bobenchuk, eager to show that he was okay, stood up, lost his balance, and that was enough for ref Dan Bam Bam Stell to stop the fight.
Now, we have to look at that replay again. Now, did that knee hit the chin, or did it hit the body?
It looked like a body shot. Hopefully we can see, we have a replay of that, but for now, for me, it looked like it hit the body, but again, I was slightly blocked by the arm of Bobenchuk, so I wasn't able to get the view, and I don't know if Dan Stell was able to get the view. It looks like he's talking to him right now.
Let's take a look at that replay. It's blocked. It's hard to see. We see that kick that missed, and then
boom.
It's hard to see, but it
from
looks
our
like
angle, it doesn't look like it hit the face, but I can't be sure. And then you see him stumbling, smiling, but still stumbling.
Now it's hit rock back though. I mean, that's an interesting call. We can't really see it on the replay. Our angle's partially blocked. Depends how the referee's gonna see this.
We will see here. I will be hopefully interviewing a winner of this fight. We've already had an interview of a no contest. I would hate to see another one. It just goes to show that these amateurs are really putting it out there on the line here. They care so much, David. They care so much about representing their country that sometimes these accidents happen because they're fighting so hard, you know?
Absolutely, man. To get a spot on the U.S. Muay Thai Federation team, I mean, that is an honor, and that's why these guys put it all on the line. Boy, I hope somebody gets to go and represent the team.
I'll bring a quarter in. If it's a no contest, we'll do a flip and we'll see who gets to go.